I'm back. After so many years of being wrong, BlizzCon after BlizzCon after prediction, finally, the 1 year that I take off and really stop playing video games, we finally get the Diablo 2 Remastered. You've heard year after year from David Brevik, the godfather himself of Diablo 2, saying you could not remaster Diablo 2. You've heard it from everyone around the community. You can't do it. You can't do it. A couple of us, including myself, have always been saying they're gonna do it, man. You gotta believe. So I'm gonna be honest with you guys. There hasn't been a good video game for me to play. That's why I haven't been on YouTube. That's why I haven't really been on Twitch. I don't know. It's just kind of the same stuff every day, in and out. So there I was, driving to Syracuse to go meet up with someone to purchase an overpriced $975 graphics card, when one of my moderators from our Discord says, "Yo, DJ, did you know that BlizzCon's about to start?" I said, "BlizzCon? No way." Because I forgot all about BlizzCon, because I've just literally been so distant from video games. And so I pull it up on my phone. It's hands-free, okay? And I'm driving still. I'm listening to it. I'm kind of watching, but really just more listening to it. And then it happens. They announced Diablo 2 Resurrected, and I'm alone in this car, and I remember just screaming. It's been about a week since then, just screaming at the top of my lungs as if there was a million people around me, but I didn't care if there was no one around, because I knew that it finally happened. Like, the greatest game that was ever created was finally getting its due diligence or justice, whatever you want to say. I don't know. And it was actually real. So it's been about a week since the release of the trailer shown to us, and I'm glad I'm waited on making this video, because I want to be more authentic and more about my thoughts than just excitement and whoa, holy shit, right? So in today's video, I'm gonna be talking about the pros and the cons of what I initially thought and what I think now. Before we get into that, if you could thumbs up this video and consider subscribing, I'd really appreciate that. All right, so let's start with the cons, the things that I do not like. This art is terrible on the character selection. This is not how the Amazon should look. This looks more like the Manazon. Okay, look at this face. The Amazon is sexy, voluptuous. Oh, but she's a killer. She's badass. And this just does not do justice for what an Amazon is supposed to look like. Again, this is a small gripe. I'm sure this is very easy to fix, but we got to do something about this face. I mean, this is just terrible. The Necromancer looks pretty good. Not exactly how I would have imagined Necromancer. I think the body looks great. The armor, I love the skull or whatever kind of animal that is with the horns. That looks great. I think everything from the neck down looks good. I wouldn't even be mad if they didn't change the Necromancer. Not exactly how I envisioned him, but the Necromancer is actually pretty good. Moving on to the Barbarian, I think the Barbarian looks pretty legit. Again, not exactly what I would have thought of face-wise, but it does fit the Barbarian. He looks like a badass. Like, this dude would mess you up in a fight. And, you know, I have no serious complaints on the aesthetics of the Barbarian. The Paladin's face does not look anything like I envisioned the Paladin from Diablo 2. Again, the armor looks great. The shield looks great. Just, I don't know, the face, that's not the Paladin. This is from the original Diablo 2 game. Again, the armor, shield looks good, but the face, I mean, he had like no hair. He had like a good fade. It looked great. It fit him. I don't know. And obviously we can't really see his face because of the poor quality graphics, but that's just not how you envision the Paladin. Just look again. Does that look like the Paladin that you think of? Not really. Moving on to the Sorceress, I think she looks pretty good, honestly. That's pretty spot on to the original. Here's the original shown there. I mean, obviously when you zoom in, you can't really see faces on any of these guys because the graphics were bad. But yeah, that suits it. I mean, I don't know, it works for me. The Druid, again, I think the neck down, the uniform, I love the fur, I love the claws. This looks phenomenal. The face does look really good for what I would think of a Druid. Judging by the original Diablo 2 art for the Druid, he was slimmer. I don't have any major complaints there. You can't really see his face, so I guess you could really never imagine. So I'm okay with that. It does look a little Diablo 3-esque to me, but that's fine. I have no major complaints with the Druid. And to be honest with you, I think that's my only complaint. I might think of one more later in the video, but overall, this thing looks badass. I mean, look right here, right? This is the original Diablo 2. This is the one that we all know and love. And then if you just swipe it over, I mean, that looks good. I've heard some people say it looks like PoE. I think where people are misunderstanding is maybe you're just not used to modern graphics, but I mean, that's how it's gonna look. You know, that's how it would look. Okay, look at this road. It's not that it looks like PoE, or I mean, it just looks modern. That's literally what it would look like. Look again. Look at the Sorceress, the way she's attacking here. The crypt there. I think that's the crypt on the left. Somebody let me know which tomb that is. But yeah, I mean, that looks really good to me. I like the monsters look a little different now that I'm looking at that again. The zombies, okay. I mean, Yeah, I think this one in the original, they had the helmet. I would like them to stay true to that. Not a huge major deal. It's not a deal breaker or anything. But as you can see, they kind of, I don't know if you want to say cheaped out or just decided to change the monsters. I'm not really a huge fan of that. I mean, the zombies look good, but I don't know what this character is here. Going over to Act 2 now, we're looking at the assassin, just kind of looking there. And this is what it will look like. Did she always run forward like that? Yeah, I guess she did. Yeah. No, I have no complaints here. That looks great. Like, the graphics look sick. I'm very excited for this. Talking to Deckard, Kane. Yeah, no, that looks good. Looking in at Act 2 again at the sewers, fighting Radamant. Okay, it's the original, and this is the new one. Love it. I actually love it. And again, this is where I hear a couple people complain that it looks like PoE, and I'm just like, dude, do you like, they're talking about how there's green stuff here and like the orange fireballs that the skeleton's throwing, the mage. That's how it, look at it, dude. That's how it would look, you know? I mean, what do you expect? It's 2021. They remastered it, so yeah, I think that looks spot on, and I'm really excited. It's crazy how good this looks. You could actually see the details on their back with the bone armor. I love their weapon. I could see every little detail on their shield. You can see the lines on it. I mean, look at Radamant there. He looks really cool. He looks kind of like that, what's that, Sandman? But not really, but kind of like Sandman from Batman. Looking over at the iconic Tristram, they have to do this one justice. There's a Barbarian. That looks great. Oh wow, I forgot. I don't really play Barbarian too much. I forgot the name of that skill. It's like, is it Shout? Yeah, that looks great. I really like that. So if we look over at the overview for Diablo 2 on the website, it says remastered graphics, monsters, heroes, items, spells, all resurrected. Classic gameplay, the same Diablo 2 that you know and love, preserved. Now this is so important. This is something we've all spoken about. Like, we want the same exact game in better graphics, and I think overall they did do that. Okay, so it's kind of hard to find images, so I went ahead and I'm using this guy's video here, Vextra Life, so you can check him out if you'd like. Looking at the inventory, I do think it looks really good. Slightly different than I kind of imagined, but I'm fine with it. It looks good. It looks modern. That's what it would kind of look like in that 3D-ish look. I like the sparkle of it. I'm fine with that. This skull looks a little strange, but again, this is just little minor things that they could adjust and fix. The overall look of it is kind of shiny and weird, but I'm fine with it. I understand. Not a big complaint. The stash is really interesting. I love the shared stash. Now, instead of having a mule, you can just put a shared stash, kind of like how Pluggy had. A huge fan of that. The boss fights look fantastic. Look at Endariel there. I don't think you can see her breast as much. Well, no, you can. I don't know. Somebody was talking about there was something off about Endariel, but no, I think that looks pretty good. I'm fine with that. The boss fights look great. Mephisto looks fantastic. I'm hoping that the moat bug, or whatever you want to call it, abuse glitch, whatever, still works. That'd be really great to see. Okay, moving on to planned feature cross progression. This is what I've been talking about for years. I've always said, like, imagine if you could just go downstairs and play Diablo 2. I'd be cool if you could do it on your phone. I don't know how that would work, and actually I just thought about that. It's kind of a meme. It's probably not the best thing to do is put it on your phone, but if I could go downstairs and go play PlayStation and still keep the same character and keep that moving, that's really freaking cool. I'm very interested in that. I definitely will be purchasing 2 copies of Diablo 2, and that'll be for sure on the PC, which I've already pre-purchased, and then obviously on the PlayStation 4. Actually, I did think of something else that I do not like. There's 2 things that I'm not liking here. This skill tree thing, no. Maybe, okay, maybe that'll work all right on a PlayStation, so that's fine. If this square, X, triangle, obviously that wouldn't be the same keys on the computer, but I don't want to see, you know, X or F1 or F2. I don't want to see my skills at the bottom here. That's a huge no-go for me. We need to keep this thing authentic and as true as possible. The potions look a little strange too. I don't really know what's going on with that. I hope that's not how it's going to look in the final product. I want it to look identical to the original game, but again, I do understand for like PlayStation or Xbox or something, you want to do that. Okay, maybe, but yeah, overall, let's just keep it true to the original game. Revamped ladder seasons. I've actually never read this. Join the ranks of Diablo 2 Resurrected players worldwide and enjoy the race to the top of the ladder. Rank up in a new exclusive ladder system with more frequent restarts. Oh, that's sick, because right now it's like, what, every 6 months, which is terrible. And earn your place among legends. So I don't really know what's revamped about that. I mean, besides the fact that it's more often, which is really good. Oh, character rank. Oh, now I see it. That's faster. Okay, I mean, that's a cool little change. Instead of you having to scroll down and find yourself at like 255, that's pretty cool. I like that it says you're number 2732. Nice little addition there. On the Diablo page right here, you can actually sign up for the pre-alpha, which obviously I did. You just got to hit this button real quick and should be good to go. Yep, as you can see, thank you. We've recorded your opt-in to Diablo 2. It supports the Switch, which I would never play, but I am happy that they're doing that. That's a good thing. So one of the biggest concerns that I've had, David Brevik and many others from the community have said, like, how are you going to make it feel like Diablo 2? How do you keep that 25 frames per second feeling, but in a more modern era? And I think it was Mr. Llama that asked, check out Mr. Llama SC, and I think he said to the developer the same question, and they answered with, well, it's the same game. That's the thing. It's still 25 frames per second. However, we just put the 3D more modern graphics on top of it, so you get the feeling of the 2D because the 3D is masking over it. And I was like, oh, that's so fucking smart. Like, I never would have thought of that. That's incredible. I don't think anybody saw that coming. We've played a lot of these mods. There's some great mods that quote unquote remaster the game, which do an okay job, but you know, then I think they just changed the resolution. But this is totally different. They really have it on top of one another. And a really important thing for other people who just don't want this more Diablo 2 Resurrected feel is that you can switch it anytime. I think that's just so perfect. Like, everybody literally wins. If you want the new look, bam. If you don't like the new look, go to your settings, change it back to the original Diablo 2. That's literally a win-win. You've made the whole community happy, except for like a couple people that you'll just never make happy, right? And don't worry about them. You never make that small select people who are just going to complain anyways. But overall, like, this is going to make a lot of people happy. The quality of life changes are a great addition. I don't know if they've been looking at mods like Pluggy, or if they looked more at like Path of Diablo, Resurgence, these kind of things, PD2, Project Diablo 2. But you can control whatever it is. I don't know, control left click, and you can put things in your stash quicker, in and out. There's a lot more hotkeys that are more modern and just should be in a video game. And I really like that addition. My rating today, honestly, is A+. Very excited. Very, very minor things, just aesthetics, which I think they could change very easily. Just get a new artist for whoever created the character selection. Make the belt look like the original game. Oh, potions, phenomenal job. And the gold pickup, I forgot to mention that. That's sick. I really like that. And again, if you don't like it, you can always revert back to the original Diablo 2. Fantastic job, honestly, more than I could have ever expected. Perfection. I hope, and I extremely doubt this, but I hope if it does well and there's a lot of people that continue to play it, maybe one day we'll get like a new patch or something. Probably not. And don't forget, guys, Diablo 2, the original, will still be sold. It'll still be able to be played. I think they learned their mistakes from Warcraft 3 Reforged, where they completely took off the old game. They've learned their lesson. You can play both at any time. They're not getting rid of mods. That's awesome. Like, I think they did that with WoW, right? Didn't they do that with World of Warcraft, where they took off all the people that were making mods and said, no, it's only World of Warcraft, it's only the Blizzard made. So I know for my friend Senpai Something, the owner of Project Diablo 2, he's gonna be happy. A lot of modders are gonna be extremely happy about that. And I think this is honestly just a win-win for every person. Like I said earlier, make sure to hit that thumbs up, consider subscribing to the channel, and check me out at twitch.tv/DJWaters22. Again, all those links to my Discord, YouTube, Twitch, everything will be down below in the description, and I probably will put it in the comment section below. It's my first video in a really long time, so if you want me to continue to make Diablo 2 videos, let me know, man. Motivate me, let me know. Otherwise, I'll definitely be playing either way. But if you want the videos to keep coming, just let me know, man. Pump me up, say you like seeing the videos, and maybe we'll continue doing them. Until next time, everybody, it is your boy DJ Waters 22 signing out.